sound like Coach Sal and I were writing our speeches together a little bit, but I want to start off by thanking the committee and Owen for putting this whole thing together. He called me up in the wintertime and said, "Hey, are you free in June?" I said, "Yeah, I should be fine, you know." He said, "Oh, maybe we could just attend a dinner." So I said, "Yeah, it should be a good time." And he sent the letter, and it was more than just attending dinner, so thank you for that. I started playing football at a very young age. We used to play all the time in the backyard, at recess. I would bring my football everywhere. I would bring it in the car, and my dad would have me try not to sit on it like a chicken. I would sit on it in the car and then try to put a seatbelt over top of me. We would play catch all the time, and my dad would make us play catch in the pool. And his quote was, "If you can catch a wet football, a dry one's a lot easier to catch." And I guess it paid off, so that was good. So I want to thank my brother. I had the opportunity to play with my brother. He was a center and I was a quarterback. As you can tell from Coach Sal, I did play a few different positions, but there was a lot of times where I would go into the huddle and know that my big brother was protecting me, so that was very important to me. As Coach mentioned, I played at Pine Bush during a time of transition. We had different coaches every year. I think I played every position except O-line. Just to give you an idea, I played running back, tight end, wide receiver, quarterback, defensive end, linebacker, strong safety, quarterback, and kick returner. Finally, my senior year, we had Coach Ganosa come, Coach Salvador, and Coach Masonette. And I remember Coach Ganosa, in the first day of practice, he said, "I'm going to wear my baseball hat on backwards, and I'm not going to turn it around until we turn the program around." Finally, after we played Middletown and beat them, Coach turned his hat around after the game. And that's a moment that I'll never forget, that we finally had started to turn the program around. We went on to win homecoming against Valley Central. I played quarterback and was able to score a couple touchdowns. We won the game against BC, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I still can't stand BC. I remember our pregame talks when Coach would talk about the team and putting team first, and the friendships we developed during two-a-days when, I don't know whose idea it was, but those county fairs. Yeah, we used to do those things all the time. I remember I got to college and the coach said to me the first day, he said, "I'm going to assume you're in shape, so we're not going to do any kind of just running for running's sake." And I'm like, "Oh, thank God, we're not doing that anymore." But that was the kind of thing, that shared camaraderie, that shared work that we did over the time, both in practice, in the locker room, and in the games, that makes a big difference. I was fortunate enough, as Coach mentioned, to go play for University of Albany and Coach Ford for 4 years. He stressed family first and a work ethic and accountability. He had a couple of quotes that, I mean, he was master of quotes. I think all coaches come with a quote book. But one was, "The harder you work, the luckier you will get." And the second one was, "There's no such thing as a free lunch." And that second one, he's told a story about a farmer and a guy down the road, and then after half an hour, that was the takeaway. And I think those are things that are great things for life in general, that hard work is always rewarded, and there's no substitute for it. The amazing thing is about football is that you can go through years without seeing people. Like, I haven't seen Tommy Kislak in a long time, and I saw Tommy Lindell this fall, and Richie, and you pick up right where you left off. And that's one of the things, I think it's the shared suffering, the shared work that you do together that makes that happen. I think it's because everybody in football, no matter how good you are, Richie, Dr. Hurd or whatever they're calling him, everybody gets knocked down, but you got to get back up. And that's part of what life is all about. I read a book recently about football, and there was a coach that was having the team practice without a ball. And the team was kind of confused, saying, "Coach, what are we doing?" And the coach said, "There's 11 players, but there's only one football. So let's work on what we need to all do together, and we'll introduce the ball later." And it was an interesting concept to say that if we all work together, things can work out. My coach in Albany, I played defense up there, and he would stress that a defensive play run well is as pretty as an offensive play. So it's the kind of thing where everybody has to do their own thing. I was very fortunate to win some individual awards, as Coach mentioned, but I think team awards are the most important thing in this sport. This past fall, I was inducted into the Albany Football Hall of Fame with the 1985 championship team that we had, and to share that honor with our whole team was a very, very special event. So I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank my family for coming and sharing this to me. It means a great deal to me to be part of this event. And in conclusion, I want to quote my beautiful daughter, Olivia. This is one of her favorite quotes. It says, "I would like to thank my legs for always supporting me, I like to think my arms for always being by my side. I like my fingers because I can always count on them. Thank you.